Hi everybody, Bob Main here from the Handgun World Show. The reason I carry a gun is because I can't carry a cop. Thanks for watching again here on YouTube as I review a couple of High Noon holsters. I just want to say real quick before I get started, I'd like to invite you to listen to my audio podcast every week. I do an audio podcast on guns and concealed carry and Second Amendment rights, and I have interviews with really cool guests and things. You can find that podcast at handgunworld.com, or you can search on iTunes for the Handgun World Show on iTunes. Okay, what I want to do is I want to review a couple of holsters that were sent to me. Now, first of all, I want to say thank you to Alex from High Noon Holsters. He provided me with a couple of holsters about a month ago. And he said, try these out and review them and let me know what you think. So I want to give credit where credit is due. High Noon Holsters, thank you very much for doing that. Their website is www.highnoonholsters.com. The two that I tested out were the public secret. I'm sorry, not the public secret. The Alter Ego and the High Noon Hideaway. Now, I carried these for almost a month. I carried both of them. I got them for two different guns. I was switching off. Every couple days I switched off, and I pretty much carried them in the appendix carry position. So this review is based on use, not just opinion or not just looking at them and saying, well, you know, it's good or it's bad. I actually wore these things for nearly a month and used them, and I'm going to give you my honest opinions on them. The first one I want to talk about is the Alter Ego. This is very much like the Public Secret, but as you can see here, it's a tuckable version of the holster. A few things that I want to show you about it. First of all, let's introduce my Glock 19. It's an unloaded weapon. It's safe and clear. So let's go ahead and put the Glock inside of the High Noon holster. Now, one thing I like about it is you can see the belt is going to, the top of the belt's going to be right here. So if you were to extend that line all the way over, you can see how it's going to ride pretty close to my belt. But the thing I like about this holster is this grip does not sit right down on top of my belt. This grip rides high enough above my belt I can get a good combat grip when I draw it. So when I draw that pistol, I can get a good combat grip on it. That's very important. I think it's important that you have a holster, and your body type is going to be different, but I think you need to have a holster that makes the gun sit just a little bit above the belt line, especially for appendix carry. If it's carrying back behind the hip at 330, that you might want it to ride a little bit higher. But for appendix carry, all you want to do is be able to make sure that you can get your fingers so that these are not touching the belt right here. That's kind of what I'm saying. This holster does a great job of doing that. Now, you can see this real nice sweat guard. High Noon does a terrific job with that sweat guard. The other thing that I like about it is this clip. Let's get this a little closer to the camera here. This clip is tremendous. I mean, this thing is real stiff right here. Now, you can see there's the flap that lets you tuck in a shirt over it, which I did not use. But this clip right here makes all the difference in the world. This is a reverse J-hook. And it is strong, folks. I mean, if you get your finger underneath this clip, all right, that hurts for me to do that. All right, I can't do that very long. It's pinching my finger. That's how strong that clip is. But that's a good thing. This is going to secure the holster on your belt very nicely. I'll get a little closer to the camera. Also, you can see that there's a rough side to this holster, and the rough side is out. A lot of serious concealed carry professionals want to have the rough side of the holster out. It doesn't look as good, but the benefit is that the holster stays in place when it's on your belt. I think that's important. You have a lot of holsters out there that have the smooth side out, and that looks cool. But the problem with the smooth side out is that it can slide back and forth a lot and a little bit up and down when it's on your belt inside your waist. The rough side out helps keep it in place and keep it in place nice and firm. You want that. I'm also going to tilt this so you can see the sight track inside of it. You see right here up on top? Let's get that a little bit positioned a little bit better. You see the sight track right there? Okay, there's a track. And what that does is when you put your gun, and I think that's some kind of a plastic in there, but it's very well done by High Noon holsters. When you put your gun in there, it's not going to disturb the sights. There's a good picture of it right up there on top. It's not going to disturb the sights, so you can put a pistol in there with just about any kind of sights. That's a very well done feature, that sight track. I really like that. I think that's very, very important. And it's a feature you don't see on a lot of holsters. The other is this reinforced mouth right here. Okay, that thing does not want to close. I'm putting a lot of pressure on it right now. It does not want to close. It stays open. I like that, especially when I'm carrying in the vehicle. I like that. There's a couple things that this reinforced mouth or reinforced opening does. The first is it holds it nice and tight against your body. It helps to keep it, and it keeps the gun from flopping out. What it does is it prevents a lot of this. It prevents a lot of the gun rocking out when it's on your belt. The stiffness of this right here prevents a lot of that. The other thing that it does is it allows you to one-handed reholster easily. Now, what's the benefit of one-handed reholstering? Not a lot if you're a civilian, unless you are carrying a lot in your car. I carry a lot when I'm in my vehicle. I make a lot of long drives. It's nice when I've got that pistol between the seat and the console hidden. When I get out of the car and I want to go into a store or something, it's real easy to take the pistol out of the carrier, the holster that I use between the console and the seat of my car. It's easy to take the pistol out of there and put it inside of here, okay, inside of the holster. And what it does is, by the holster staying open, you don't have to use your other hand to try to open it up and then put the muzzle in there and try not to sweep yourself with the gun. It's so much nicer to have that. A lot of people won't carry anything but a holster with a reinforced mouth, and I can see why. Overall, top-notch quality. This thing is built so well, folks, it'll last you a long time. You notice it's a straight drop. There's no cant to it. Again, I use this for appendix carry. You're probably going to want the one that cants. I forgot the model name, but you can go to their website and look at it if you're going to be carrying this behind the hip. So again, this is the Alter Ego by High Noon Holsters. Now the next one is the Hideaway. Now, this one is a real good quality. You can also see the rough side out. Okay, same kind of design. You can also see the reinforced opening, so it keeps it open, which I like, as I talked to you about. And also the same sturdy reverse J clip. Man, these things are strong. I mean, they're just real strong. And I used that to carry my Kahr PM9. Here's my Kahr PM9 unloaded. Let's go ahead and put that in there so you can see what that looks like in the with the Kahr PM9 in it. Again, I appendix carried this holster. The major difference between this holster and the other is, you notice there's no sweat shield. There's no sweat shield as there is compared to this holster right here. Okay. The other is, in this one, you see, there you go. You see the sight track in there? Okay, well, there's no sight track in this one, in the Hideaway. That's okay, though. The sights on the Kahr pistol are very durable, and actually, I have no problem. I did a lot of dry fire practice. I did a lot of drawing from concealment using dry fire practice with an unloaded gun, and I practiced drawing and getting on target, and it worked just fine. The other thing I like about these holsters is, check this out. Okay, this gun will not come out of this holster. I mean, even a lot of shaking, it won't come out of the holster. And at first I thought that was going to be too tight. I've got this tension screw loosened up quite a bit. Well, it's not. You can still get a pretty good draw on the pistol. Okay? It still comes out of there fairly quickly. The holsters are smooth on the inside to allow you to draw quickly. Same thing with the Glock 19. All right? With the Glock 19, the gun just will not come out of here, folks. You get real good retention. You get excellent retention. You got to, I mean, this thing does not want to fall out. And I like that. I don't have to worry about the gun retention at all. And that's important to me. So overall, I give these holsters an A rating. These things are great. They conceal well. They may look a little bulky, but they're not. I know there's other holsters out there that are a little more slimline, and they're soft leather holsters. And I own some soft leather holsters by High Noon and by a couple of other manufacturers. If you go into my YouTube channel, you'll see a couple of other holsters by High Noon Holsters that I also reviewed that were soft leather. I got to tell you, folks, they've got me converted. I am no longer a soft leather holster guy. I'm either going to be using something like this, durable cowhide with the rough side out. Okay, there we go, the rough side out. And that's a low ride holster. I like the low ride version. Again, it does keep the grip of the pistol high enough above the belt line where I can get a good combat firing grip. And I'm going to be using things like this Hideaway for my Kahr PM9. And these are my two primary carry pistols anyway, so I'm happy. Thanks again to Alex from High Noon Holsters for letting me review these. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video, but I'm going to do another video shortly on their excellent belts. Their concealed carry belts are the absolute best I've ever seen. I've been carrying about 6.5 years now, almost every day. For 6.5 years, I've never had a belt as good as the High Noon belts, all right? So if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to use the comment section. Again, I'm Bob Main. I'm the host of the Handgun World Show. The reason I carry a gun in a High Noon holster is because I can't carry a cop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the road.